Hello, everyone. It's the one true President of the United States here, Grover Cleveland. This is Ink the Book Show, the only show that cleans while you cook it. And get this, you can follow Ryan O'Connor at Wrangleshank on Instagram, on TikTok, and on Twitter. And if you like his work on the Bonehead comic, you can also watch his Bonehead cartoon. The link to all these things and more can be found in the description. Furthermore, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to all things Wrangleshank and all things Ink the Book. Thank you. Pew.
It's time for Ink the Book Show with your host, Ryan O'Connor. And now, let's ink the book.
Hey everybody, we got a show to do today. Oh. Hi, it's me, Ryan, doing today's edition of Ink the Book Show. We're finishing this page up, then we're doing another page. And also, I want to finish a page that I didn't realize I didn't finish earlier in the week, or last week or something. So we're doing that. Look at this wisp of hair I have left. Hi. Anyway, let's ink some snakes. Snake. Shed some light on this little snake. Okay. The clearing up of coffee cups. There's one too many mugs on this table. Okay. Snake. Oh, I'm not even inking on the dang screen. What an in-cow poop. What an imbecile. So, everybody, we're almost at the end of the book. I've got 2 little pages after this, one of which I'm doing today. I might need some time to, I keep thinking I'm going to need to take a little break to redraw some pages from a scene, but maybe that's what I'll do in the meantime, is I'll actually show me drawing some pages, or at least part of pages, like figuring out how I'm going to break those pages. Because I'm a lot of them I still have to do the thumbnails and figure out what's going on the page, figure out what the panels are going to be like. So maybe that's what I'll do for those. I'll show how I work out the thumbnail note cards like this, real rough. And I'll document that part of the process as well. Because, like, I have a page somewhere around here where I just barely started drawing it one day. Let's see, where is it? Where is it at? Here we go. So there's the scene I have to redraw. I'm not going to use a bunch of pages that I already did. I'm going to replace them. So what I have to do for a lot of this scene that I have to go back and redo. Let's see, where is this? So I've got some note cards here. This is how each page started. So I would go through the script and I would, line by line, I would mark off like where I want the panels. Do I have my script here? I'll show you. I have I have my script right here. It's a 100-page script. It's all disheveled right now. So how I figured out each page. Now, none of this corresponds with this note card, or this note card that I'm trying to. This note card. So I don't have a page in this script that corresponds to this because this was rewritten in a separate document that's on a computer. But so I would go through the script and just break down the lines into like, he stops as they come face to face. Okay, that's going to be panel 1. And then we're going to cut to another panel where he takes her hands. I'm done with excuses. He hugs her. That's going to be panel 3. And I'm embarrassed because that's so late in the script and the dialogue is so bad. So let's, how about, okay. Denton Crux. Oh, sure. And hey, that reminds me. I did this one before. And then that's going to be panel 1. He's going to be saying, oh, sure. And hey, that reminds me. Panel 2. He looks down at his hands as if wrestling with his memory. Didn't we have a little transaction planned for today? So I draw a line there because that's all that I want to be on that panel. And I'm looking for while I'm doing that, I'm kind of looking for a place to wrap up the page too. So I'm breaking it into panels, but I'm also looking for what I think will make a good page break. And I just and when I come to a page break, I'll draw a line straight across the page. And then I mark off. What I was doing was circling where I want page 7 to start. So at this line, that's where I want 6 to end and 7 to start here. So panel 1, Denton Crux. Oh, sure. Hey, and that reminds me. In panel 2, he looks down at his hands. Didn't we have a transaction planned for today? Panel 3, he tilts his head toward the king with a wink while pointing back at the artifact in the window. You were going to give me that cute little ball up there? Cut to panel 4. King smiles pleasantly. The holy artifact. Crux raises a finger in the air with a smile. Panel 5. Actually, that should probably be included in panel 5, not 4. That's the one. The king remains on his throne. King. Ah, yes, I'm all for your scientific research, Mr. Crux. It's good work that you do. Panel 7. Denton bows solemnly. Your Majesty. End of panel 7. On to page 8. So that's kind of how I broke it down. And then I would look at what's in panel 1. Well, first of all, I would look at how many panels I have on the page. Usually I don't go much more than 6. If I know I want to just jam pack a page full of stuff, full of panels, yeah, I'll go nuts. I'll chop every line into pieces, wherever I think, whatever it calls for. maybe I'll have, I do have a page in the book that's like 30 panels because it's nuts. But generally I stick to this like 6-panel layout. Boom, 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 boom. 3 rows of 2 generally. This one in particular, for the scene I rewrote, we've got 1, 2, there's one big one here in the middle, and then one here, and then this one is split into 2. So that's the one I started working on. And yeah, maybe I'll show myself actually breaking that down for that page and the upcoming pages before I'm ready to ink the very last pages of the book, the very, very last pages of the book. So that's what I'm thinking I'm gonna do for a little bit. I'll be doing thumbnails. I'll be working out thumbnails and penciling pages for a little bit after tomorrow's page. And then I'll go back to inking those ones, and then I'll be all inked. So it'll be Pencil the Book Show for a little bit. Technically. Okay. Or thumbnail the book. Okay. And then I think I want to do something kind of scaly on here. Let's see. I'm losing my train of thought as I start this. So I don't know. But maybe I can do a little bit of that on each of these stripes. That's what I'm thinking. Just make them a little scaly looking. Okay, let's do first things first. Let's throw them down onto the page before we get into the weeds. So this is some nameless snake from some kind of odd dimension that we see a little earlier in the book. And this is just kind of a little callback page. He's still slithering around. So he's just kind of zigzagging across this page, really, is what it is. So a little drop shadow under the tail, the tip of his tail there, onto his tail there. T. All work and no tea make Jack homicidal, if you know what I mean. Did my picture just disappear for a second? It did for me. Okay. Looks like it's working. I think I've seen that happen before, but then it didn't come back like that. I had to like jump out of the stream and jump back in. So I did these bold, so it kind of sets it apart from the background. I'm going to do that here too. The inclination to go thinner on the outline. I've never done outlines like this before this book, but it really adds it helps add depth. It makes it look like it's a solid, I don't know, it's a nice touch to kind of beef up your outlines sometimes. And I usually do it for depth first. Sometimes just for looks, but usually it's mostly to set stuff apart on the page. If I want something to sit in front of something else, like a character to sit in front of another character, I'll give them a thicker outline and do this one with a thinner outline. And then the background objects, even thinner, probably. And then, remember that Dude, Where's My Car movie? Remember how funny Ashton Kutcher and Sean William Scott were in Dude, Where's My Car? I hated that movie when it came out. I hated it. And you know what? If I saw it today, I'd hate it even more. I was like, how old was I when that came out? Let's find out. Let's find out how old I was that I thought it was so stupid. Everybody loved that stupid movie. What is it even stupid called? Dude, Where's My Stupid Car? That came out in 2000. So I was 13. That's what I thought. And I was maybe just under the target audience for that. But I was right there. Because it was kind of like stoner comedy. I just thought it was so dumb. It's like that and then stuff like that. It didn't even make sense. It was poorly. It was just terrible writing, terrible acting, terrible comedy. You know, unless you like that movie, unless you audience members like that movie, then in that case, you're stupid too. No, I don't know. It was the Jar Jar Binks of movies. And I once sat through The Phantom Menace in theaters. It's the only Star Wars movie I've seen in theaters, and it will forever be the only. Unfortunately, I've seen a Star Wars movie in theaters. I'm sorry. Poor me. The only thing that would have been worse than having to sit through a Star Wars movie in theaters would be having to have paid for it. Thankfully, I didn't have to pay for it because I was a kid. I think that was also about when I was 13. When did episode 1 come out? Star Wars. No, I was younger. I was in elementary school still. Star Wars episode 1. 1999. Yeah, so I was 12. I was in 6th grade. And I was willing to be swayed into liking Star Wars for that split second. That was their opportunity to do it, and they did not stick the landing. And they had a guy with spikes coming out of his head who had a double-edged lightsaber. They were trying to get me, but they failed. That's pretty bad. They had R2D2 cracking Rodney Dangerfield jokes on screen in that movie. They had Yoda like riding a bicycle and singing Bicycle Built for Two or something. Like he was on the Muppet Show or something. They still couldn't catch my imagination. They couldn't sell 12-year-old me. Well, can't win them all. It's funny. I went to Disneyland once in my life, and I've never been to Disney World. But there was some Star Wars ride that me and my uncle went on. This was about when I was 15. And at the end, they took a picture of my face and superimposed it onto a picture of Obi-Wan from that movie, Ewan McGregor. And so somewhere there's a picture. I don't know whatever happened to it. It might be in my house. It might be in my parents' house, buried deep somewhere. But there's a picture of me as Ewan McGregor, like posing with a lightsaber. I also had a book with that same picture in it, but it's got his face on it. I know I had a book. I had me in a Star Wars picture. It almost sounds like I liked Star Wars, right? But I didn't. I never thought Darth Vader was cool. I never thought Chewbacca was funny or whatever. I never thought Jabba the Hutt was cool. Jabba the Hutt was the coolest thing Star Wars had to offer, and Jabba the Hutt sucked. Han Solo wasn't cool. Luke wasn't cool. Leia wasn't anything. I didn't care about anything Star Wars. Every once in a while, I think it's funny to go on a Star Wars rant on my art show. I don't even remember why I brought it up. Let's see. Can I punch Liam into getting onto this show again? Let's see. I need to copy the link. And then I'm going to send it to Liam. Let's see if he gets in here. Even though I already sent him the link, sometimes he responds better if I just send it to him directly. Let's see if he comes in. Okay, Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer true. I'm half crazy, all for the love of you. There won't be a stylish marriage, we can't afford a carriage, but you'll look sweet upon the seat of a bicycle built for two, for me, for you. For us. So Liam just, I don't know, in the middle of the day, he started talking to me about Neighborhoods, the Blink-182 album without, oh no, that's the one where they all came back. And then Tom left the band again. And this time they kept putting out albums without him. Though I hear that maybe there's rumors that Tom might be coming back. I was always when I was like 12, 13, I was really into Blink-182. Not so much Star Wars, but Blink-182. Yeah. Yeah. But by the time Neighborhoods came out, I wasn't so into that album. Though, when I look back on it, I don't think it's that bad, but I don't remember. I think I have to do something like this. I feel like it would be not a bad idea to wipe that tea stain out. There's a little tea drop. I mean, I could always Photoshop it out, but it'll be less work when I go to when I go to, I don't know, Photoshop it, threshold it, bring it down to blacks and whites. Do these little diamonds. So let's see. What is my favorite Blink-182 album then? Well, I don't know. I used to say Cheshire Cat, which is good. I like that Enema of the State is kind of their first album that does a bunch of book songs tacked onto it. Well, I don't know. Isn't Dude Ranch kind of like that? Because I always thought the extra immature stuff, goofy songs, like I always thought they could kind of do without that, and then suddenly they started getting all kind of like this moody persona that bands like to get, which I also thought was kind of fake. But I mean, the music was still good, like on Take Off Your Pants and Jacket. But it's like, I don't like saying my favorite album is Take Off Your Pants and Jacket. I don't like saying my favorite album is Enema of the State. You know what I mean? Like, they just like doing the kind of pee pee poo poo caca doo doo jokes sometimes. And I was kind of like, even as a 12, 13-year-old, I was kind of rolling my eyes at it, like when they did it the third time, you know what I mean? Where am I? Where am I? So if he's going to have some scales like this, if he's going to have some scales like this up here, they're going to be going the opposite way because he curves. Here's it's going to be like a tic-tac-toe board. We're not going to do a billion scales. We're just going to imply scales by throwing a few here and there. And we want to keep them running the right way. So and then, does that add up? Yes, because this end of the tail is his head and his tail are both going the same way, which means that the scales should be going opposites. So yeah, that's right, because these scales are going to point that way. These scales are going to point that way. Good. Okay, so we're just going to imply where they're going to go. And like I say, we're only going to do little smatterings of scales on his body. We're not going to load them all up with scales because that would be he'd get real bland if we did every single scale, right? So this is just like our grid to follow. Okay. Shoot. Scales. That almost looks like his scales, but we're just gonna hint at some scales here and there. So okay. You know what? I didn't do it on. Well, he's got some that I freehanded there. Very heavy. I shouldn't have done that. So it was a little off. This kind of stuff tends to look better in clusters of odd numbers rather than even. So I'll throw even numbered ones around here and there. But generally speaking, odds catch your eye. They're a little more satisfying. Like asymmetry. works better than symmetry. Why is that? I don't know. Better for appeal, though. Okay. Oops. You know what? I ignored my own rule. This is as bad as it gets. That goes that way. This should go that way. All these are wrong. I should be shot. I should be shot. There's a They Might Be Giants. It's a newer song called I Broke My Own Rule. This is why I always say any jerk could do a comic book today. I don't know. Here, every time I try to improvise, it's a bad idea. Okay. Get killed, you bunch of scales, ya. Get killed, you bunch of scales. I should be so lucky that all these scales got killed. That's how lucky I should be. Hey everybody, I'm the guy whiting out half his page. That's why I drew arrows, because I knew I was prone to doing the wrong thing. So I drew those arrows so I wouldn't. And lo and behold, what did I do? What did I do? Okay. I'm just kind of arbitrarily. Maybe I should not. It should be this one. These are going to be the tops of some of the lesser seen scales. Ba 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 ba. I don't know why I just remembered, but when I was in kindergarten, I was I took an acting class, and I don't remember much of the acting class, but I remember that I was in a play called The Hobbyaz. And it was about some aliens called the Hobbyaz that capture a little girl in a machine, and they sing a song that goes, "We're Hobbyaz, we're slimy and green. We got the little girl in our Hobbyaz machine." And that just popped into my head. That's all. No big deal. It doesn't have to be a big thing. Don't got to make a federal case over it. Okay, I think this is this page. That's what we're gonna do. I remember being really excited that I got to be a hobby. I painted my face green, and I don't know what else. I don't know what I actually don't know what I looked like as a hobby. My parents didn't like take pictures or anything. Because they weren't proud of me. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. So does that look like a page? I don't know. Sure. It's a page. Print it. Page. Now we're going to the sun. The short drive to the sun. This is how you draw the sun. You start with a blinding circle, and then you end with damaged eyes for the rest of your life. And breathe. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm sorry. It's like the end of the day, and I worked my day job all day, and now I'm just on autopilot talking. I also just ate. I made some burgers and fries. Oh. And I'm running out of tea. I should hit the button so I have more tea. Be right back. Okay. The button has been hit. That ought to spice up my tea. There's an episode of this show called Clone High that I really liked. Also about the year 2000, where the show is about all these dead celebrities, like, and historical figures like JFK and Gandhi and Abraham Lincoln and Cleopatra. Those are all the main characters, and Joan of Arc. And they're cloned as high school students. They're all high school age, and so there's a school built just for them. And there's this evil scientist who runs this stupid evil scientist that runs the high school. And I forget, there's some episode where he's having a battle. It's a really stupid, funny cartoon, and it was on MTV in 2000, and there's some episode where he's having this like feud with a skunk, and the skunk hands him a. It's supposed to be like Looney Tunes, where like they keep kind of like, or like the skunk keeps like thwarting his plans and blowing him up and stuff. It's just particularly stupid and funny, but he the skunk hands the scientist a stick of dynamite, and he's like, and it says catsup on it or something, and he's like, this catsup will really spice up my dog. He starts patting it like it's a bottle of ketchup, and then it's because it's a stick of dynamite, it just blows up in his face. The end of that anecdote. Ba-doom, 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 doom, 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 doom. You know? You know what I'm saying? Welcome to the sun. The brightest star in our solar system. The sun. I'm texting Liam. I'm telling him that I need him to come in to the stream for a minute at least. I wonder if he'll do it. I don't even think he read my message. taking a moment to invite somebody on the stream so I can run away for a second. Story. Everything is funner with a friend. Look at all these people. All these people I invite every day. What a bunch of cowards. Ain't nobody ever comes on here anymore. Except for my brother and my dad the other day. Okay, well, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play Bonehead for a minute while I run off. Because I got to go to the bathroom is the thing.
Right down in there! Some of us are trying to sleep!
Oh no. I'm dead. I'm gonna be late for work. Where's my tie? Where's my tie? Ah, crud. I need to find my tie. Come on. Almost. Gotcha. Aha!
Whoa! 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 Ah!
All right. I can still make it to work on time if I leave right. Uh-oh.
Bonehead, open up. It's the landlord. I need your rent. Oh, there you are. Hey, did you put this hole in here? Oh, that is gonna cost you.
Oh, I'm not home right now. Please leave a message. Beep.
Oh, I hate these things. Bonehead, I came by to collect your rent, but I guess I missed you.
Well, can't go out that way. Oh, what a morning. Huh? us! Finally, some luck. I don't like being nice. Dang it. Oh man, my good pie. Well, at least it's only 8:55. 8:55? I'm making great time now. What? No. Next up, work.
Wasn't that wonderful? Probably even not terrible, but no promises. Well, if you want to see the rest of that cartoon, there's a link in the link tree that I usually put in. If unless you're watching on Twitch, in which case I put the link tree link at the end of the broadcast. But there is a link to the rest of that cartoon that I usually put up. And that is the character, that Bonehead character is the star of this book, also called Bonehead. So there. That was my first big project. It's a 16-minute cartoon. This is my second big project. A 250-page graphic novel. And then after I really color and letter this book, which is the next steps, I'll start another big old project, probably another book. And I think what I'm going to do is a book called Moon Valley that I've already drawn the first third of. I think that book's going to be about 150 pages or so. And I drew the first third of it in Manga Studio, which is now called Clip Studio Paint. But I kind of didn't have a great system, and I was afraid that the project wasn't gonna get finished well, so I stepped away from it for a while and did this book instead. Sorry, I'm like dead silent. I was just thinking about stuff earlier in my day. My bad. I'm still here. Where am I? So, what's the deal? What is the deal with inking comics? Oh, you know what? So, here's the thing. So I've got all these projects that I intend to make someday, right? I've got like 3 or 4 graphic novels that I want to make in my head so far. And then, I mean, I guess that might include this one. I think I have 3 or 4 other ones that I want to make. And then I also want to make a music album. And I also have this idea that I want to move starring my brother Liam. And I want, all I've known about it, I just see him in my, it's whatever it is, it's going to be a really weird movie. And I just see him in a suit and a hat, and there's animation. Not that he's animated, but he's in an animated world. And that's all I've known about it. But I've had it in my head for years that I want to make this animated movie, a partly animated movie, of Liam looking like a detective or something. And it's kind of noir-y and kind of creepy. And last night and this morning, I kind of was figuring out what the story might be there. I'm not saying I'll make that movie anytime soon, but I could start writing that script, I think, or at least outline that. I think I should do that. Okay, I should get a big brush for the rest of this page, which is just going to be straight black. Okay. Let's see what I got. I've got a bunch of unused brushes here. What are these? Fine Touch. So they're junky Hobby Lobby brand brushes. I need to pour more ink because that's eating it up fast. I've just got it sitting in this little bottle cap there. So I just absorbed the last of it. Oh, hi, what love? I told Liam that you wished him a happy birthday. And I saw that he responded. How you doing? I gotta pour more ink. I'm drawing a sun here, inking a sun. I gotta do all the inner details, but I'm gonna try and get all this fat ink out of the way. I also finished that snake page that I started yesterday. I don't know if I can't remember if you were here. I was talking to somebody. I'm doing good. I was just saying, I've mentioned it before that someday I think I'd like to make a little film starring Liam. But I don't know. Like, I have an idea. Well, I have an image in my head, or I've had an image in my head over the years of him in a suit in an animated world. And but I didn't know anything about it beyond that. I was starting to kind of get an idea for an actual story to it last night as I was going to bed, and this morning as I was driving to work. I don't know if I'll ever make it. But I think I'm going to start writing that eventually. Pretty soon. I'll at least kind of cobble together what that story might look like. Let's see. Wallaby. This is the way we ink the page, ink the page, ink the page. No, this is the part. This is where I usually sing. I see a white page and I want to paint it black. Okay, I need to pour more ink again. You said those papers are made to support ink? Oh, yeah. Woo! Look at this. Solid, baby. So you can hardly tell, but this is the sun. Once I put the details in, maybe it'll look like a sun. It looks like those like close-up diagrams of the COVID cell or whatever it is, the COVID-19 thingy, with all the party horns coming out of it. Tonight we're gonna party like it's 1999. Or however that song goes. I don't know the tune. Okay. Okay. This is my, well, this isn't really my inkiest page yet because I have some at the beginning that are like this, like mostly black. But I haven't painted a page mostly black like this since the beginning of the book. So it's been some time. Here my roommates are watching Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It's a fun show where everybody on it is terrible, is the kind of the premise of that show. Their podcast is really funny, really entertaining. Okay. Let's get back to, oh man, my brush was just sitting in ink. My normal brush was sitting in ink. Getting all stuck to the paper. This is the flaming sun. What is supposed to be this page? This is, so the story, this is after the last pages of the story. There's just like little I was kind of explaining it yesterday. Let me grab what'll be a good example. So Doug TenNapel always kind of like does these like lead-in pages that I like on his books. Let me see. I'm trying to find a good example. I say he always does it, and then I can't seem to find one. Oh, Power Up would be a good one, but I don't have that one in here. So let's see. I think Ghostopolis does it. So like at I just have this like wraparound material at the start and end of the book, and it's kind of like for these kind of like lead-in pages, and then the story starts. But we have those few pages before the story starts, and then usually has this one only has this one, but yeah. So I've got a few like lead out pages as well. And then this is the sun, because there's something to do with the sun in the story. So here's this flaming surface of the sun. And I saw this photo of this like close-up photo of the sun recently, where it just looks hairy. It's just like nothing but flames. Like all this line work might be like when I color it, I might bring all this line work down from black. I might make it like orange and do like a spherical gradient of like where it goes light to bright yellow or something. Okay. Let's see. What am I going to do? Here's a little flame coming off here. Oh man, I gotta share something again. So here is I'm going to share something. This, and I'll be right back. I gotta make new stuff.
B stands for Beatrice, except I don't like Beatrice. I just like B, and that's all. You may know me for my world-famous books on behavior and discipline. Well, I have a brand new book with 12 more rules for young people, featuring brand new rules such as don't put gum in your hair unless you want a haircut. Those who color on the walls are doomed to repeat time out. And running with scissors is assuredly a one-way trip to chaos. Now, you might ask, well, why would I need 12 more rules to live by when I don't know what to do with the last 12? And I would answer that question with another question. Have you ever considered that rules themselves require rules of their own in order to properly follow them? If you haven't asked yourself that question, you might find that your life may soon be spiraling into an inescapable hell, the likes of which you might find rather disagreeable. This new book, called Jordan B. Peterson and his 12 Rules for Riding the Stupid Smelly Bus for Kindergartners, is coming soon to a Kindle near you, or wherever Canadian-authored books are permitted. Yours in Christ, Jordan B. Peterson.
And we're back. Sorry about that.
Okay, we're done.
Wait a minute. Where's my brush up? There it is. It blended in with the page that it was sitting on. So there's all these flames flaring off the surface. Speaking of Jordan Peterson, I've been reading and listening to a lot of Jordan Peterson lately. I just re-listened to his. I bought the two books. I bought the physical copies of, what do you call it? 12 Rules for Life, and the sequel Beyond Order. And I re-listened to the audiobook of the first one. I've been reading the second one, and then I finished the audiobook of the first one, that is, and then I started listening to his other thing, Maps of Meaning, which I feel like I'm doing a lot more tuning out than listening to that one. Not on purpose, but it just keeps happening. But then I was also listening to his podcast a while back. But I do think he's a really clever guy. Okay, so there's all these. All these little hatch marks. Just kind of like imply scorching or something. I don't know. That weird flame. Flames must be weird shaped as they flow. Like every way is up on the surface of a planetoid, spherical, heavenly body, right? I don't know. There. Hey, everybody. It's the sun. Ever heard of it? The sun is a mass of incandescent gas, a gigantic nuclear furnace where hydrogen is built into helium at a temperature of millions of degrees. Yo ho, it's hot. The sun is not a place where we could live. But here on Earth, there'd be no life without the light it gives. The sun is a mass of incandescent gas, a gigantic nuclear furnace where hydrogen is built into helium at a temperature of millions of degrees. I think that drawing is done. Now I forget which way is up. I think it's this way. This side up. If I care. I don't suppose it actually matters. Okay, so there's that page. And now I wanted to finish rather. I didn't realize I didn't finish. I didn't go back and do all the rain that's on this page. The background there at all. And here I didn't even draw his arms. So I'm going to ink that. Okay, and then he's got little handies over here. What is the time that it is? It's 9 o'clock p.m. Let's see. I'm just going to draw this straight through. Do little splashes where the drops hit them. Okay, I'm going to get a pen. Is it going to be thin enough? Yes. Needle, drawing pen, size number 4. What brand is this? I think it's called Superior. Never heard of it. Superior. I mean, how superior could it be? So I'm making one go to there because it lands in his hand. He said, whose child is this? He's not even a child. He's just a short alien character. He is, his name is Billy TV. He's from the planet Montana. And he's on a mission to save his planet. So he comes to steal the same thing that Bonehead steals at the beginning of the book. Oops, drawing off screen. My favorite thing to do, draw off screen on accident. It's like, oh man, it's raining. He's like, oh boy, it's raining. That's an error. Part of the problem with part of what he's trying to save his planet from is that it's too close to their sun, and it's that's not even why the sun on the last page that I did. It's too close to their sun, and it is drying up the planet and making it unlivable. That's part of the danger of his planet. see. Okay, there's one that touches ground here. And I'm just going to do a few last random ones on this panel. This is so fun. Or what's the opposite of fun? Tedious. Anytime I have to pull a ruler out, I'm like, boring. I have to flip my ruler over because that side has like dings in it where it isn't necessarily straight going down, but the other side is fine. Okay, and there's a raindrop that falls there. There's a raindrop that falls there. There's a raindrop that falls there. This one will go behind his arm. This one, there's one that goes here. Let's make that behind his arm. There's one here that can go in front, why not? Here's this one, and then one over here. And throw one across him. Okay. And one hits his hat. There's going to be one that cuts across him here. One here. This is the most exciting part of the show. I've been on for 2 hours. It's after 9 o'clock. I'm glad I'm almost done. But look, finished a page. I did a whole nother page. Now I'm at, finishing yet another page that I didn't finish earlier in my life. Okay. This one will be behind him. A friend of ours is a friend of my family. A friend is texting me right now. I don't know why I was trying to be like, he's not my friend, he's my family's friend, or whatever it is. He's my friend. It's my friend Kyle texting me. Kyle's family. Okay, so when I was 13, we moved to a new house, and 2 doors down was this kid Kyle, and years later, we moved away from Kyle and his family to a new house again. And then shortly after, his family moved right across the street from my parents' new house. Followed us over. Partly to be by us, so that was really cool. So they still live across the street from my parents. Okay, and then these two panels need raindrops too. These two with the king. So this is the king of planet Montana. And he's like, oh, look at that, rain. See, I was saving the raindrops for last, and then I forgot about them. So my something fell. Oh, it was my phone. Fell off my lap. Good riddance. Oops. see. Oops. I don't want to carry them all the way across. The gutter of the panels. That was an accident that I've made a couple times already at this point. I'm just kind of trying to make them not all falling at the same angle, make it look a little natural and chaotic. I'm also trying not to confuse it too much with lines that are already established on the, the character or the background, if I can help it. So I think that's okay. I might just erase this out to kind of get a better look. Oh, I'm sorry. What are my big goals for the future? Well, to get this book colored and printed would be like colored, lettered, and like made into a big 100 or 250 page book. So I'm almost done inking the whole thing. That's my big main goal. Other goals for the future. I want to just keep making books. I want to keep making graphic novels. I'm always talking to my brothers who make music in their free time for fun. I'm always talking to them, like Liam. I'm talking to right now about sometime making these tracks. I want to make that. I used to write a bunch of songs when I was in high school and college a little bit. No, and years ago I was trying to make an album with my brother Jimmy, where he would make my backing track. Like I would write tracks on the piano, and then he would put them into the program and like make. Like we would kind of collaborate on making the instrumental, and then we pieced together my song. I wanted to make an album. We made about like 7 or 8 songs, and I think I want to like remake them and just make a whole album with Liam and Jimmy. Sooner rather than later. I think that's going to be one of my next big projects that I want to do. On top of finishing this, and then I'll start the Moon Valley one up again that I started a while back. And then I was talking about that movie earlier. Like I always picture this movie with Liam wearing a suit and like a detective hat, I don't know what you call it, like one of those brimmed hats. And a story started finally coming to me last night, so I at least want to write that script, I think. Who knows what'll come of that. But I'd like to make a movie someday. I want to make more books. I have a circus story I want to do. I have a robot detective story I want to do. I have this Moon Valley one I want to do about these kids who live in a weird town with a bunch of supernatural stuff going on around them. And then maybe more Bonehead cartoons, I'm thinking. And I want to do more animations and stuff like that. So those are all my big old plans for the future. Yeah. So, and whatever I move on to, I'm just going to keep at least for the foreseeable future. That I'm thinking I'm just going to like just overshare right here, whatever I'm working on. So them's the plans anyway. But the best laid plans of mice and men and Ryan often go awry. In any case, I think I'm going to join my roommates with whatever they're doing in the meantime, but not before washing my brush, pouring the rest of that ink back into the bottle, and I gotta put the link in the description on Twitch. But I'll be back inking the last page you will see in the book, should it ever see the light of day. There's going to be another mostly black page. I think it's going to have like about the author stuff or something like that, like maybe some kind of something like that there. And then we've just got a little frog in a spotlight right there, and that'll be the end of the book. But of course I've got to redraw those other pages. So more inking to come. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. What love? It's always good to have somebody in the chat. Anyway, thanks for watching. Keep on watching. This has been Ink the Book Show. I'm Ryan O'Connor saying, don't knock it till you try it, baby.